How about this one? You give me hope. Thank you. The strength, the will to keep on. No one else can make you feel this way. And only you can bring out all the best I can do. I believe you turn the tide and make me feel real good inside. You push me up when I'm about to give up. You're on my side when no one seems to listen. And if you go, you know the tears can't help but show. You break this heart and you tear it apart. And suddenly the madness starts. It's your smile, your face, your lips that I miss. Those sweet little eyes that stare at me and make me say, I'm with you through all the way. 'Cause it's you who fills the emptiness in me. It changes everything you see when I know I've got you with me. The good old days. Do you remember those songs? Let's go further back, shall we? DJ, come on, here we go. I don't remember what day it was. What day is it? Wednesday. I don't remember what time is it? All I know is that I fell in love with you. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Every day's a new day in quarantine. With each day comes that same day in quarantine. But every time I kiss your lips, my mind it starts to wonder. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Oh, I love you more today. Sing. Good job. Come on. Sing it, Vicky. But not as much. I love you more today. But darling, not as much as tomorrow. Tomorrow, baby's Thursday, just a day away. It is, right? Cupid, we don't need you now. Be on your way. Well, I thank the Lord we have this time to sing all night together. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be singing here for you. Oh, I love you more today than, but not as much as tomorrow. And the next day and the next day. Oh, I love you more today than, but people, not as much as tomorrow. Today in Martin in the house, we have very special guests. They're very close to my heart. In fact, they're family. The Valenciano family, Sam, Paolo, and my Princess Leia, all in one episode, under one roof, in my house. Yeah. And if all my dreams come true, they'll be spending time with you. Oh, I love you more today than, but not as much as tomorrow. But darling, not as much little laway. It's okay. As to more, not too close to the screen. Come on, step back. I love you more too. You do it then. But darling, not as much as tomorrow. Every day's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is just like Saturday, then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're back to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today I think it's Wednesday. The Valencianos!
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Okay.
Lola Martin.
Lola Martin, you're the first one to say that to me in my whole life.
Really? The Lola Martin. Martin.
Yay! How's it life in your house, guys? Are you bored sick yet?
We spent a lot of time cleaning up the house.
I took classes.
She took classes.
Day 3. Like it was already like 3 weeks.
You took classes how to clean your house?
No. I took online classes. In,
Online classes.
Yeah.
And then Sam was also studying, I guess, homeschooling courses for Leia. So that's
But also with your tita's book. I used your tita's book.
Yeah, so she's been doing homeschooling. She even does like a routine where she has to do the national anthem before her class.
You know, we see every single thing that Leia does because Leia is the most photographed, the most, how do you say, the most stored child of her age. I mean, we saw her do the Bayang Magili. We saw you do that. Leia, what do you do in the morning? Every morning, what do you do before school?
Where do you put your hand? Can you see it? There.
Yes, the flag ceremony. And you look out the window. Hand to the heart.
What's inside there? Heart.
Hard.
What's inside your heart?
Oh, what's inside?
Jesus.
Jesus is in your heart. That's good. And do you like staying home, Leia, or do you want to go outside and play?
You like to stay home or do you want to go outside?
Outside.
Paula, but you like this because I know you're really a kid at heart, yes? Are you running out of activities for your daughter?
Just when I run out of ideas, she's the one who sort of like does something, and then I'm like, okay, I can do that. Like yesterday, her newest thing is she likes to put the blanket on top of the table, the dining table, so that it shuts off all the side, like it covers the sides. And then that's where she likes to hang out with her yaya and her, like me, and then she covers it, and then it's like a new room for her. Anyway, what she really meant to say was,
Wait, Trooper is scratching for water.
Trooper is their other child. It's yeah, there it is. Trooper is also home studied by Paolo. Very much. You must be. Is your creative mind in a situation like this where you are 24/7 in the same space, the same view from every window? Do you find yourself having a creative mental block? What do they call it? Like a writer's cramp or something? As a director, do you have a director's block?
That's a interesting question. Something that we've been discussing amongst the industry people. For people who don't know, I'm a live events concert director.
Exactly.
A lot of people think that I do videos also, music videos and all that, but I dedicated everything. I mean, like my entire life, my entire career was based on live events. So we're sort of like going through a semi-existential crisis right now because that's the one thing that we're not allowed to do anymore, right? So one thing that we've been trying to figure out is how to adapt to the new landscape after this, because I was just talking to my cousins last night, and we were just discussing how after this whole thing, nothing is going to be the same.
So what will you do with the new world, Paolo? Because as a director of live events, I mean, if there are no live events to direct, how else can you do your craft? I mean, I saw you during the Fear Over Faith Over Fear, and you were talking on behalf of people like you, the people in the back. You are really the magicians in all our shows. Without you guys, we're just a singer and a microphone. That's all it is. So how can you still do your magic in the new world?
That's I don't have an answer for that yet, because that's the thing we're trying to figure out. But definitely after this, parang do we give out our masks supposed to be part of the merchandise now? Or I was thinking, we had a partnership with Back to Clean, which was they spray the entire house, and it's almost like the haze that we use in concerts, where it kind of like lingers and stays in the air. So I was thinking, should I do a concert and have Back to Clean sort of like do the haze?
Why not? You can do a show for your dad, call it Gary V Unmasked. You can do things like that.
Yeah.
Right?
We're discussing a lot of possibilities like that, where the cleanliness, the disinfectants, or plays a major role na in a live event. And then I don't know how long it will be till we do another 10,000 seater, 20,000.
Long time, friend.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long time till that happens again. All of a sudden, diba? You're looking at some of the more I wouldn't say basic, but the more essential jobs. The jobs that are not in the entertainment industry, and all of a sudden, these guys are. You realize how important these people are. Like, I mean, like everyone knows about the doctors, but the guys doing Lala Move, the guys taking the trash, all these very the regular jobs are actually the more important ones when you.
Oh yes.
It really changed our perspective. It changed not just me, everyone changed our perspective on these people, and these are. You really feel like I know this kind of cheesy, and everyone's saying it na, they're the heroes, the frontliners, but it's real. You really feel like these are the guys who are keeping us alive, basically, who are protecting us.
And
so
they're literally the wall between us and danger. It's when we're in danger, we meet the frontliners in the hospital. That's danger na. Pero bago mag-hospital, how we eat, how we survive, how we get from point A to point B, our food gets to us. How do you explain this to Leia? How have you explained all of this? Why are we still in the house? Is it still something? Are you candy coating it? Are you telling it
I'm not really candy coating it, because she's brave.
Which I think is good.
Leia's very brave, so she won't care if I make it sound small. So I tell her that there are people who are sick outside, and we have to protect ourselves. And I say, until the president says that it's okay to go out, we have to stay in the house. That's what I say.
You need to be true. You really have to be troopers. Sorry, you have to be troopers, so to speak. You have to be a storm trooper, literally, because this is a storm that we are all having to be troopers. Do you not allow Leia to watch, social media or television where they're talking about, all the things that are happening in the world, the name of the virus and what it does to people, how many people we've lost? Do you explain it to that detail?
Well, not that far. I mean, we do leave the news on sometimes, like while we're having lunch, but she doesn't really pay attention to it. She'll just run around her house and play.
She understands she understands na parang the way she kind of explains it sometimes when she tries to justify going out, no, she understands that outside it's really really dirty,
Mm-hmm.
and so she know at first when the quarantine started and the lockdown wasn't that strict yet, we would be allowed to walk around. We had like a 1 hour window in the village where we could sort of like walk around, go to the park, buy supplies and all that. But we were only allowed
Not play in the park.
the park. Yeah, the parks were closed.
Does she
Everything
know
was-
not to touch things and why do you have to put alcohol, Mom?
She actually wears a mask always. So like even if she like steps in the garage, like literally right outside the garage, she has a mask on. And then like kanina, when she entered, she told Yaya, she was like, Yaya, there's no one sick here. You can take off your mask.
You said that?
Yeah.
She totally gets it. Now, for the
Yes.
parents who are watching and they have kids, some your age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, what would be your advice with your own experience? What would your advice to be to educate your kids, not scaring them, but making them know that this is for real?
It might be easier to explain this to like a 4 or 5 year old, but since she's 3, the way we explain it was really just in terms that she understands. So I would tell her that look, it's dirty outside, people are sick, you can't go out without the mask. So that was a struggle at first because she really
So we really had to. I mean, all our two yayas, Pao and I, we'd wear a mask right away. So she'd look at us and be like, "Okay, I'll wear it also."
yeah, when we used to like in the earlier days of the quarantine when the lockdown wasn't that strict yet, and we could step outside just here on our driveway, you know, like when we would use our bikes just on our driveway, and then she would see me without a helmet, she would start to question why she would have to wear a helmet, and if I didn't have to wear one. So of course, even when just in the driveway, I would wear the helmet.
Paolo, tell me, what in Leia, how much of Sam is in Leia and what is it? What's that one thing that you see in Leia that is so Sam?
I just have to look at her. I just have to look at her. Like, yeah, that's definitely Sam's daughter. And then, it's her. I think it's her facial expressions that are more me. When she does certain things, that's when you see me. But when she's not doing any expression, like physically, pictures and all that, it's really Sam. In fact, I think Leia did one expression that I used to do when I was a kid, and that was like she was about 2. And that's when I told Sam, I was like, okay, this is 100% for sure my kid. So that's a relief.
Wow.
Sam, how much
Yes.
of what do you see in your daughter that's so Paolo? Besides the expressions, as he said.
She actually has the same food taste. What do you say that?
Oh
She
yeah.
likes the same food. She eats
She
everything.
likes the food you like?
Yeah, she
Yes.
loves spicy food.
She likes spicy. She likes seafood.
She likes okra.
She hates okra.
Does she watch movies like this?
Oh yeah, she does that na rin. Yeah.
She does this. In her mouth.
But she does the side ano na rin.
The side view, that's a Valenciano thing. Your father,
Look
this
at her.
is the way Gab watches a movie, Gab. So every time
Look.
if you sit behind a Valenciano during a movie, they're like, so you can't help what's over there? No joke. How many times I watched a movie with your dad and Gab is, they're both like this. Gab and Gary are like this. And I'm looking, who's there?
I remember Tito Marks. I remember we watched we were in the States, and then you and we watched The Hulk. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And then I just remembered you. I was watching the movie. You were to my right, and I just remembered your head turning slowly to look at me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry."
You want some popcorn? What do you want? No, you want it now? This is the best part of the movie. Every time you never sit to the right of a Valenciano in a movie. It's a rule. It's got to be a rule. Now, when you see Leia growing up, are you regretting the day that she's forgetting? Because you guys seem to be having so much, real fun with your child. It doesn't look like a chore. It doesn't look like a job, a responsibility. You're having so much fun. Are you not looking forward to the day where it's not going to be fun anymore and she's got that attitude, her own friends, I got to go to my room, solitude, privacy?
I think that's what helps me put the PS4 controller down every time it tries to make me ulit. So like when I'm like playing or watching something or doing whatever, working, and then she comes into the room and she's like she tells me that she wants to play with her dolls, or she wants to go downstairs to the trampoline or something. When she does something like that, I just keep thinking of some parents actually gave me that advice, saying that, look, this is gonna go by real quick. When she gets to around 5, 6, they don't want to be around you anymore. 7, 8, and it gets worse and worse and worse. So
That's right.
I just think about that, and then that's what helps me put my work aside. I mean, like, not like I've had any work for the past. It's not like I've had any work for the past month. So yeah, that's 100%
Leia wants to
PlayStation 4.
Leia wants to sing daw for Tito Martin.
What do you want to sing, Leia? What song?
You are not alone daw.
Go. Loud, loud.
I am.
Oh.
Oh, she got shy.
That's
But
beautiful.
yeah, so that's what I've been doing. See, Sam naman doesn't have a struggle with that. She's always
I'm always with her.
When we press the reset button, Paolo, and you go back out into the world, how will you now attack the world and your job and the people who used to work for you, how you were before? Not that you were a terror. You're one of the easiest directors I've ever worked with. You're one of the most talented. You have a third eye. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. There's a third eye there, and you seem to know how to keep things fair. You know, you've directed things with your father and I, yet I don't feel like you favor your father over me. You have that thing, it's a gift that you have. Now, but with this gift comes great responsibility. When you reset the button and you step outside to go back to work, whatever work is, how will you attack that day? What's the
Okay.
loop going to be like?
Honestly, I feel like I might be useless for the next couple of months, because one of my strengths, I feel, one of my strengths as a live director was that I had a lot of years to with my dad to observe what people responded to, what people liked, what people didn't like. And I think that was my strength. Everything changed. Everything changes
Right.
now. For example, if you like going to the theater to watch movies or to watch plays, there's a big chance that a huge chunk of that market is now uncomfortable going into a theater. And did you hear that? For example, Disney now, the movies, a lot of the movies that are launched that were supposed to be released in theaters went direct to pay-per-view, or you can now order the movies.
Yeah.
That's going to have a drastic effect on
Theaters.
the consumer, because now, like I if I can get my films in my house, just the way that Netflix affected the movie industry, this is gonna have a major effect.
In the likes of the concerts that we do. It looks like we'll be doing them here in these little box here. But there's also a possibility that in order to get people to come, we have to bring our prices back down to the 80s. I think.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Because-
and also because the brands, for example, the brands who would give us the funding for a major event. So yeah, I was looking at these comments online where they're saying that, these brands are, they're the capitalists, or they're parang when they were giving donations and all that, people were bashing them because they don't naman lose anything. What these people fail to understand is that everyone is losing so much.
That's
The bigger the brand, the bigger the loss.
Exactly.
So now that these guys have lost so much, I don't think that they'd be willing to spend as much as they used to on these concerts, on these events, So obviously, the rates of everyone, I won't be able to go. I wouldn't feel comfortable going to a brand saying, "Hey, look, pay me this much," knowing that they probably lost billions. I feel like relevance now is more important. It's relevance. The idea of relevance is more relevant now,
Yes.
more than ever, because now when we
Right.
put something together, what does it like how does this contribute, how does this improve the quality of life, how does this make things just better? I think that's the new mindset that I might have going into the new world.
Sam, listening to your husband talk the way he is, obviously he needs to have a great influencer, if you know what I mean. Someone like you to keep him propped up, to keep him confident, to keep him strong. Not that that's the role of a woman. That's not what I'm saying. But in your household, you seem to have chosen to be that person, the person taking care of Leia, always in the house, but still the backbone of your husband. How do you support Paolo through these times?
Well, I keep telling him that I've been doing this ever since. Like, I'm basically quarantined all the time. So I told him there are ways for you to be creative. I'm not that he's on the same mindset, but he's creative and everything, but he can probably find his own way of still doing what he does without having to rely on a show that a client hires him for an event or a show or a concert. He can probably just come up with something on his own. He'll find his own voice without having to, wait for someone to hire him. Yeah. So I mean, with support, I'm here.
Before it
I'm
was
here.
it was a different ball game before, but now you may have to be an influencer for other things that are more creative for the times, for how we can get by. And Paolo naman, his creativity and his weirdness can be to the form of trying to find a way and a path for others to continue living their life. Doesn't necessarily being the latest and greatest concert of whomever. But the most important question I have for both of you is this. When you both decided that you're going to get married, what did you think about when you found out? Oh, you always knew, but did you have a talk about, wait a minute, your mother is Martin Nievera's sister. You're the son of Gary Valenciano. Did you ever have that talk? What are people going to say? What are they going to... Did you ever think, oh my God, do you see what we're doing here? We're becoming a family. Did that ever cross your mind?
I don't know. I don't know.
It never crossed your mind, because when people see us together, that's what they think about. When they see Gary and I with Leia, they think those are the Lolos because of, you get what I'm saying? Because of this stupid rivalry that's made us brothers that we are today. I want to ask the two of you, what were you thinking?
Well, you don't really think when you end up with someone.
Leia.
Leia, say hi to Lolo Martin.
Hi, Leia. Leia, who's a better singer? Lolo Gary or Papa Gary or Lolo Martin? Who's a better singer? Quickly.
Answer first.
Who's your
Lolo,
favorite singer?
Martin or Papi?
Papi.
Ay!
I love it. Who's a better dancer? Lola Martin or Papi?
Who dances better, Papi or Lolo Martin?
Martin.
Oy! I think the trick is to say whoever's name last. That will be the answer.
Who's more guapo? Papi or Lola Martin?
More guapo, Papi or Lolo Martin?
Okay, fine. You can do whatever you want.
You're the best. That's it. You just won a lot of great poggy points, Father. Well, both of you, stay where you are, stay healthy, stay together, and stay home. This is something you keep hearing every day, and you seem to be practicing it very well. We thank you for your time. I know it's dinner time over there, so enjoy your time together, and always remember that whatever influence you have, Sam, with the good and the bad of your husband over there, you are a team. And I think you've lasted this long. Why?
You were saying you were saying how how Paolo is weird and all that. And you know how I tried to hide that from people that I
Ano
had
kasi?
that I had this weird sense of humor.
You know he's weird.
Yeah, and
When I say it's a good weird, there's
I
in
know,
other
but
there's no
starting
one.
to leak into my social media. So the funniest, not the funniest, but the weirdest comment I got yesterday. Someone was like, "You should be a comedian." I was like, no one has ever said anything like that to me. And then sabi ni Kakay Mitra was like, hala, nabubuang ka na. Because I guess people have never seen that
Hilarious.
side.
Oh my gosh, that's the guy? That's John Lloyd now. You look like John Lloyd. You could be his brother.
That's why he's not gonna shave na. He wanted to shave.
I was about
and
to
then now
shave.
No more na.
I was about to shave, and someone was like, "Oh my God, you look like John Lloyd."
You do look like John Lloyd.
Okay, I won't shave the muna.
Guys, thanks so much for your time, huh?
Thanks, Tito March.
Valenciano with my beautiful Leia. I love you guys. If you need anything, Paolo, if you need anything, and I mean anything, you guys just call me, okay?
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you. Flying kiss. Flying kiss.
I love you.
Love you. Kiss, kiss.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Sanos in the house. Adorable. But we interrupt this program to give you this special news report. This man was seen outside the house of the Valencianos. We don't know who he is. But please, if you see this man walking around in the Valle Verde area, please report it right away. The Valenciano family. John Lloyd no more. Thank you, Pao. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Leia. And thank you, Gary V, for the wonderful family that we are. I love you, bro.